And hello, and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. We are back, Matt. It's Sunday. It's time for a show, and this is a comic book podcast. It's a show where we talk about a little bit of everything. But I can also assure you, Matt, that this podcast is not secretly cake.
God damn it! You beat me fucking to it.
Our minds are melded, Matt.
I was totally gonna do that.
Literally, that was all I thought about today, where it's like, need to be on top of the meme game. What's going on? Comic Multiverse, the only show that promises it's not cake.
And we have immediately dated ourselves.
Hell yeah, we have. When the fucking future people look back on this one, when the hills are not but dust, they'll listen to this and be like, what the hell were they thinking for like a day?
Yeah, and also for the second week in a row, we begun directly on 10 o'clock.
Yes, that's pretty good for us. For once, we can actually keep a goddamn schedule. I've been thinking about cake a lot recently because it'll be my birthday on Thursday, and this show goes up Wednesday. So there you go, everyone. You have no reason to forget my birthday, unlike my mother. No joke though. My father, he did forget my birthday, but he forgot it in a funny way. He thought it was last month. But it's like your birthday isn't in June, right? I'm like, nah, it's in July. But I can't blame you because of coronavirus. Every day feels exactly the fucking same now.
Yeah, no. Mine forgot my birthday this year because they were meant to be going away overseas, but obviously they couldn't. So yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it's your birthday now. We would have been away, so we forgot.
I mean, come on. It happened with Thanksgiving. It happened with Easter. It's just like everything has been canceled because of virus. Nothing counts anymore.
No.
Look, I think we all have to agree when the world opens up and everything is normal again, we all have to have a big raging party to make up for all of these events that didn't feel right because of quarantine. Maybe let's not have it at Disneyland, though.
No, let's not.
Did you see that video? I'm sure you did, of the Disney live bloggers being like, "Oh, we're here now with our masks on. We're risking death because this is what we do as Disney live streamers. Oh, I don't feel so good. Yeah, I got a bit of a sore throat. Yeah, not really enjoying this. Let's go to Animal Kingdom."
Yeah, I think they went to like the first aid and they told him like, you probably should go to the hospital. Just better safe than sorry. And they're like, no, just gonna live stream because Disney streamers are a thing.
Yeah,
man, I said that's the American dream. You like spend all your money to get to go to Disney World and then die in a pandemic.
Yeah, really, for real. God damn, I wish I could be so lucky. Again, it's not like the fucking Comic-Cons are opening up or anything. And maybe that's for the best because the con crud is no joke. I'm sure everyone would get the corona.
Maybe that'll be like what happens with San Diego Comic-Con at home. You get the full experience, so they have someone to come into your house and just sneeze in your face.
We coughed in an envelope and sent it to you. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and the envelope smells like undeodoranted flesh, just like all the people I'd be standing next to all weekend. Man, this really is the full experience. So happy. So happy. How has your week been, Matt?
Yeah, not too bad. Just been, because obviously we've got Ghost of Tsushima coming out this coming weekend. I've been kind of going through my backlog of games and being like, okay, which ones can I finish before that come out? Because there's no way I'm going to like play anything else.
I pushed myself there and I finished Last of Us 2 last night.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I mean, the only complaint that people were saying that I maybe could agree with, and this even feels like a weird one, is like, it was a little long in places. They probably could have cut a couple segments for time and it would have been a little tighter. I'm like, yeah, but then again, I also appreciate a game that I paid $80 Canadian for actually gave me my money's worth and took me more than a few nights to beat.
Exactly, yeah. The only real complaint I have, now I can talk about it, is that I wish we got an Abby segment a little earlier than what we did, because it kind of like separates the game where you play as Ellie and then it stops and then you play as... I wish we got a segment a little bit sooner, or we played more at the start as Abby.
Right. Yeah, I know there's a lot of talk about, structural questions and, like, would this same story have been better if they had told it linearly? Would it have been better if you played as Abby first and then, oh, hey, twist, it's Ellie, etc., etc.? I don't know. There's definitely some stuff to be said about that, but I know the way a lot of people online were talking about it was like, Jesus Christ, never fucking watch Pulp Fiction or your goddamn head would explode, apparently.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, too, that I felt after playing, a lot of people said, like, oh, one of the things I didn't like about the game is that, it felt like the message was that, killing is wrong, but it gave you no choice not to kill. Again, I thought the killing was great. We talked about this last week, and in fact, I think every character pretty much agrees in that game that, yeah, killing's not great, but it's also necessary. Everyone agrees that it's super necessary. I never got a killing was wrong message from it.
No, exactly. And I don't understand how people got that. The story is about, like, the cyclical nature of, like, revenge and violence, how it's like one piece of violence reacts to another piece of violence, and it's just never-ending cycle, and it's about the characters breaking that cycle.
Absolutely. In fact, the ending, which again, I got into an argument with this people on Twitter where they're like, oh, the first game was dark, but it was more hopeful. Why? Because they pet a giraffe at some point? That game had multiple child death, a very graphic on-screen suicide, cannibalism, torture, which most of those things don't come back in the new game. It's dark in completely different ways. They don't go back to old wells.
Also, did they just, like, forget the fact that Joel decided to doom probably millions of people in
all of mankind
just to save one person?
Which, again, it made sense in the moment because you followed around Joel, you liked Joel, you liked Ellie, you understood his point, which it's funny. People understand that point, but they don't understand the point from the Abby campaign, and that's the whole point of this series, where it's like, look, if you could literally walk a mile in someone else's shoes that you hated via the power of video games, would you still feel the same at the end? That's literally what it's trying to do. Also, another thing, and I brought this up on Twitter, all the early reviews are like, oh, I walked away from this game feeling like Schindler's List, which I thought was a bad comparison for a number of reasons. I think a much better comparison is actually Moby Dick, because the game allows you to be Ahab and White Whale simultaneously, and also the game is loaded with water and nautical imagery. You keep going back to a marina. The opening screen is a boat.
I have no doubt that that's what they were aiming for. This and that the story also, like, basically follows, like, the Moby Dick sort of themes as well. It totally does.
It's totally Moby Dick. Which is the thing, which again is why I even got a little upset when, like, game trailers was like, or no, not game trailers, honest trailers that I normally like, when they're like, oh, it's a revenge story, that everyone was bored from since the Bible. I'm like, well, why do you think we keep telling those stories then? Why do you think we've literally been telling these types of stories about revenge since biblical times? Why do you think Confucius said there, what is it, he who seeks revenge should dig 2 graves?
Yeah, it's not something new.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I won't say any more than that, because again, some people might still be playing through it. I don't want to spoil it. I feel like you and I should do a deeper conversation about this at some point, because I feel like I do have stuff to say that's not getting said.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I do as well. The amount of, like, people I've seen that just don't seem to get it when it's when I feel like it's really you can see it, you can watch it and play it, and it's right there, but I don't understand how these people aren't getting it, because it's pretty in your face.
They're being willfully thick about it. They really are. And it bugs me too, because it's like, guys, you're in your crappy arguments you're making for not liking this, you're actually making the first one worse, is the thing. Because I really like the first one. It's like, you guys didn't get the point of that ending at all, did you? Or at least you're pretending like you didn't get the point of that ending.
Yeah, it's very strange. And for a game like this, like I could understand something else, but, like, Last of Us, really? You're getting upset about this?
So fucking weird. Gamer entitlement, man, I tell you. But hey, speaking of gamer stuff, I swear this is still a comic book podcast, everyone. But this is just for us. This is just for me and Matt to fill a slow week of news. But Ubisoft had a big thing. And because Ubisoft had a big thing, that means we get to do, oh, say it with me now. Ooh, it gets intro music now. Assassin Talk.
Assassin Talk. Yeah, the Ubisoft live stream, which leaked a full week ahead of of it. We got everything that was in that live stream like a week before.
So classic Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see all their new stuff they got coming out from the year. Obviously, we got to see a bunch of footage for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's funny, normally whenever, at E3, when Ubisoft has an Assassin's Creed-centric thing to show, it's always so polished and so shiny, and so, like, the game won't actually play like that. This year, though, they did something different, and that is there was a lot of bugs and jankiness just in what they showed.
Again, I think it definitely was probably because they couldn't, do it in a big auditorium, have all this like sort of preparedness, whereas they had to kind of like just throw something together probably.
Yeah, and they also probably couldn't get people together because of coronavirus, so they probably couldn't get the company they normally get to shine that shit up real nice for them like they always do.
Yeah, and really I kind of appreciate that they just
Same.
they didn't say like, oh, we don't have anything to show, or it's not up to par or something. They just showed it.
Especially, too, where it's, like, this late in the franchise. Like, it's an Assassin's Creed game, everyone. You know what you're going to get. You know what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's going to have the same gameplay loop with a couple of new features. And it had some really cool new features that I'm actually really interested to look at.
Yeah, I like the raiding stuff that they're doing. I like the roaming world bosses from English mythology, not Norse mythology, which is funny. But then again, finally, Matt... Yeah, you and I, as a Canadian and Australian, get to live our fantasies of taking the fights to those damn Saxons.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have a feeling that, much like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we're going to get Norse mythology stuff in the DLC. You'll be fighting Thor or Odin or something, like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you fought Hades.
Yeah, we saw Odin in the trailer, so clearly he's going to be a part of it in some way or another. He can be a man or a woman this time around again. I thought that's cool, where it's like, yeah, these famous historic assassins who just have surnames.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Assassin's Creed one where you can actually make your own character. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm shocked they haven't gone that far. Is this one supposed to have online features? Because I know in all the stuff I saw with like the raiding and sieges, where it's like, oh, to open a door you need someone, to open the big chest you need a person. I'm like, that feels like where your like co-op partner comes in.
I think that might be, but it might also be like a progression of like how in Odyssey, how you have like on your boat you have like those lieutenants. It might be something like that where like, oh, you need this guy to come and help you, or like someone will just run over to the door and help you open it or something.
Right. Another thing I liked, the ability to dual wield any weapon you want, including 2 shields.
Yes, yeah, I saw that and I'm like, yes, I'm going to do that.
Thank you for that. All shield run coming soon. And also, too, the other thing I enjoyed about it is multiple different enemy types.
Yeah, I like all the looks. Again, it's like building off Odyssey, where they had kind of enemy types, but this looks like it's taking it further, where you get a bit more variety around the world, which is really, really wonderful, because Odyssey did get repetitive at times. You're like, oh, there's a shield guy, I'll take him out with this, and the guy with duels. I like the idea as well that they can pick up the corpses and throw them at you.
That's pretty great. Again, when I was playing through Odyssey and when I was playing through the other one too, my thought was like, man, more enemy types would really save this, and it looks like they're doing that. In fact, there looks to be multiple factions now, all with their own different philosophy to combat, which is cool.
Yeah, it seems like they filled out the world a little bit more.
Absolutely. Now, the question is, do you think they're going to nickel and dime you on the base building mechanic? Because it's like, oh, yeah, go on raids and build up your base and everything. I'm like, oh, and buy Ubi bucks, too, while I'm at it?
I have no doubt.
Gotta buy them big Ubi bucks if you want to build up all good luck.
They'll have the usual like skins that do nothing that just skins, but then they'll have those, what do they call them in the menus? The time savers, that's right.
Oh yeah, fuck those things.
Yeah, they'll have them where it's like, you instantly build this for your base or something.
Yeah, why? Again, absorbing all the worst stuff from mobile gaming. Also, why? You give me 3 different sets of weapons that all fill different roles. Why can't I save these weapons as templates without spending like tens of thousands of dollars of in-game money? Because fuck you, Joel, that's why.
Yeah.
Fuck you, pay me. What else was going on there that I liked? They showed some stuff from Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs has always kind of been like a dark horse franchise. Like, that first one had so much buzz, wasn't that great. The second one was much better, even though I never finished it.
Yeah, well, see, I liked the second one, but I liked the first one because it was more realistic in a way. Like, it was a bit more gritty and everything, whereas since the second one and now Legion, it looks like they're going like, oh, wacky sort of things. I'm like, yeah, it looks cool,
cyberpunk.
But I really wish that it was like, for once we get a series that was serious, because it always seems like these series turn into that, where like the first one it does all right, and the second one they're like, we're changing it up and making it all wacky, and you can be a grandma spy and all this sort of I soccer hooligan.
Mechanically, I am very interested in the idea behind that game, where that is, you have no one main character, you play as the organization of DedSec, and you recruit different people. I'm like, okay, you couldn't possibly have recorded all these lines. How many individual, mission types did you do for recruitment, and what did you cut to get there?
Yeah. Can we take one character all the way through the game?
Yes, like I'm interested in that, doing crazy challenges like that. Furthermore, what was it? Man, that trailer. The person who cut that trailer really liked SpiderVerse, didn't they?
Oh, yep.
Which, as someone on Twitter told me, apparently one of the visual design guys who works on this game, the head one, worked on SpiderVerse. So it's not really plagiarism when you're ripping yourself off. But yeah, I kind of like that, postmodern, Andy Warhol, like, in-your-face kind of punk aesthetic. I'm down for that, which makes sense because, London, England, birthplace of punk music, so there you go.
Yeah. It does look interesting. I'm intrigued to see what it'd be like. I'm just surprised that, like, this is, like, the second time we've actually seen it. We haven't seen, like, they announced it back, 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah, a while ago. Maybe it underwent a bit of stylish reworking. I know in the footage they showed of it, it was kind of interesting because it's like, the first stuff they showed where it's like, gritty, rainy street London. Oh, thank you, G. Botch, for following there. Yeah, where it looked like, it's all rainy street London. I'm like, well, this is kind of depressing when compared to sunny San Francisco from the second game. But now in this one, it's like, no, Tower of London, broad daylight. There's color here, too.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't want it to get all dark and morose again. What else did they have? They had Far Cry 6, which is funny, man. Far Cry is such a weird fucking series now, because the entire ad campaign and the entire trailer campaign is always done around the villain and not the character you play, because the character you play is always a blank, empty fucking cipher.
Yeah, they're just relying on the villains and have since, like, Far Cry 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was 3, yeah. What a weird choice.
Yeah, I kind of wish the series would go back to, like, its roots in Far Cry 1, where, like, you're a soldier and you're on an island and there's super soldiers. Like, it was cool. And now it's just, like, kind of, like, more, I guess, realistic.
Yeah, like Rambo, Insurgeny. The fact that it's in not Cuba is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Also, as the chat reminds me, too, and the funny thing is the villain that everyone remembers from Far Cry 3 wasn't even the main villain.
No, he died off really quickly.
Yeah, he was the Darth Vader. He was the secondary villain, is the truly shocking thing. It's just so weird for a franchise where it's like, okay, cool villain, but who am I going to play? Some fucking guy.
Yeah, just some no-name who's never actually going to end up making a difference anyway.
Which I think is something that Ubisoft themselves actually misses from why Far Cry 3 was so good. And Jason Brody, I do believe his name was, the main guy in Far Cry 3, actually had quite a story and underwent quite a major change, because he was like just some American backpacking dickbag who never held a gun, never held a gun before, never took a life before, and you could like actually see like flashbacks of him throughout the game by like looking at like their party footage and them just being ugly Americans all over the world, then being punished here. And it's like, oh, interesting, he's a hero, but he's not a good guy, and he brought this on himself. And like, it's not quite the Great White Savior. It's like them trying to like comment on the whole Great White Savior thing.
Yeah, and you also, as well as that, they had like a good supporting cast with like his surviving friends and everything in that mission of like trying to get off the island and everything.
Absolutely, which you didn't get in any of the other games.
No.
Again, they're just like, let's just do Voss again.
Yeah. They keep trying to recreate that and have since number 3.
Yeah, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I don't think any of them have been as good as 3.
No.
Well, except for, okay, someone says the Blood Dragon DLCs. Okay, because those ones were just pure comedy. Those ones were fun.
They weren't taking themselves seriously in that.
Yeah, when they just say fuck it and have a laugh like they do sometimes. But, yeah, so there's your Ubisoft Assassin Talk news, everybody. I know we're not a video game show, but it was on our mind anyway. And some of these get comic tie-ins. Assassin's Creed got comic tie-ins, so it counts. It's okay.
Yeah, I really wish, though, that, like, there were rumors they were going to announce a new Splinter Cell, and that never happened. And that is such, like, a wasted series. It's such a wasted series.
Sure is.
Like,
is.
I guess, like, they want to do one, but, like, they're like, no, we'll just put Sam Fisher in Ghost Recon Breakpoint for a mission. That's all we'll do. Or we'll put him in that, what's that mobile game they announced him for last E3? Everyone was so upset about that.
Yeah, Ubisoft is famous for that, for sitting on franchises. I know I'm not one of them, but many people are like, when are you going to do a new Prince of Persia? When are you going to do a new Prince of Persia, though?
Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a Prince of Persia, like, Assassin's Creed tie-in. There kind of was for Odyssey, like kind of sort of like in that sort of realm, but yeah, it never happened.
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't, which is hilarious because Assassin's Creed literally began as a Prince of Persia game.
Yeah.
And then now it keeps getting sequels, but Prince of Persia doesn't get any.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Okay, now in the actual official comic news, everyone, now that Matt and I have set our piece on all the video games that we're going to be buying for the next little bit. Also, what is it? Assassin's Creed comes out in November, like 2 days before Cyberpunk.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how those games go.
Absolutely, which, I mean, you know, I definitely want to be a badass Viking, but I want to be a cyberpunk more. I've waited longer to be a cyberpunk.
That also gives us an idea of like when the PlayStation 5 is going to come out, because I think that's the launch title for the PlayStation 5.
Yes, and these look like they're going to be on both.
Yeah.
All right, so from the world of video games to the world of mutants, this week they did a very cool thing. The X-Men writers' room basically put up a snapshot of their Zoom call.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, it's a big meeting of the X-Men writers' room. Ooh, we're talking about so many things. And they had everyone there who you could imagine. They had Hickman and Percy and Teenie Howard and basically everyone who's writing an X-Men book right now. And also Al Ewing.
Yeah, Al Ewing. I have to wonder, like, because obviously this has led to speculation. Is he writing an X-Men book or something? But I also have to wonder, is he in on it so he doesn't use these characters in his own books or something, like his own events or something, like kind of keeping him in the loop?
That was the theory, yes, where it's like, oh, well, does this, like, you know, make sure, are they trying to make sure that this doesn't conflict with Empire? Because X-Men is getting an Empire tie-in, and, you know, Skrulls and Krees and everything else in the X-Men's own cosmic history. I can understand how, you know, he wouldn't want to step on any toes. But at the same time, too, there's a lot of big X-Men books and projects coming out that haven't been given writers and creative teams yet. And in fact, judging by the solicitations and judging by what White said when they asked him about it, the editor of the whole line, he's like, yeah, a lot of that got moved around, so some of the dozens of X-Men books we announced, some of them might not be coming out.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to cut like the smaller titles, that ones that don't affect the overall plot.
Yeah, the three that were mentioned, one of them even had art, but that haven't actually been solicited yet. One was that Children of the Atom book, which the internet and comic book fans at large were pissy about, but you and I were actually pretty interested in.
Yeah, I'm not sure why people were pissy about that.
I'm mad because it's young people and their new designs. Wait, so you're mad that it's new, basically? I don't like that they're tackling mutants as celebrities. I think that's really interesting, especially in a day and age of Krakoa, where obviously they want to make their own Hollywood and their own art, so they would have their own celebrities.
Yeah.
What is it? So Children of the Atom was one. I hope that one comes out just because I want to see what the hell the deal is. And also, you and I were 90% sure this is how the Chimera mutants start, isn't it? This is the beginning. None of them are real. They're all test tube babies.
Yep.
That's going to be the dark undercurrent of it. The other one was Moira X, which was a book that was supposed to be coming out.
Which sounds like it should come out because that's like a really important like plotline heavy book because it has to tie in with Dawn of X and House of X and everything that's going on behind the scenes.
She's literally only the most important character in all of this.
Exactly.
All roads lead back to Moira. And the other one, and this one broke my heart, X-Corp, which I'm almost certain was an X-Factor book in disguise. They just didn't call it X-Factor. So Joel is again denied his X-Factor fix. Oh, well. So that's a shame. Was there any other ones there? I know there was a Cable book that came out for one issue. Is that still solicited? Or are they still doing Cable?
I want to say it is. I want to say like because I actually thought about that book the other day because I was like, yeah, where's the second issue of that? I'm sure that's coming out.
I mean, because it's Cable. They always
and it has to have been written as well because issue 1 came out like way before this whole pandemic stuff. So they would have definitely had a couple of issues ready to go.
Okay. Jersey Lux says
next week. That's probably why I was thinking of it. I was looking up comics next week. Yeah.
Okay, so Cable is fine. All those other ones are up in the air. I feel like there was a time there where we just kept announcing X-Men books over and over that were
it was like
out.
every other week there was like two new books coming out for everyone. There was a book for everyone.
Which again, it's like I want to be mad at it, but at the same time, it's like, but they've all been really good though. Even the ones I didn't keep up with reading were still really good.
I know. I was hoping to use the pandemic to catch up on it, but it never happened. I was like, I want to catch up on New Mutants and Marauders and everything.
Yeah. Chat saying what happened to Fallen Angels. Fallen Angels was done. Fallen Angels was only a mini.
Yeah. Well, it probably was meant to go longer, but yeah, I think that. I think that was probably one of the ones that wasn't selling very well.
Right, yeah. I mean, that always seems to be Marvel's status quo, where it's like, is this a mini? If it doesn't do good, it is. And if not, it'll keep going. But yeah, obviously we got the actual big X of Swords events that is coming down the pipeline soon enough. Or 10 of Swords. I'm still going to call it 10, friggin' X of Swords. Yeah. You can't stop me.
Yeah.
It's all X. It's all X and will never not be X. X go and give it to you. But yeah, so that's crazy that even in the line of X-Men books where they've all kind of been batting 100 and I'm sure all selling really good, even Marvel's like, yeah, maybe we don't have to do all of these now that we've had 2 months to stop and think about it.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the comic industry, that they all just fucking fly by the seat of their pants all the time, and after having a couple months to think about it, they're like, but maybe we shouldn't though.
Yeah, it's been actually quite interesting to see how this works, where people have actually had time to like look over the work they're doing, and they've realized, we need to cut back or do more or do better.
Yeah, crazy. But, I mean, it's not like you're going to starve for X-Men content. There's certainly going to be a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's your X-Men news update, everyone. You might not be getting all the books you thought you were getting now.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we get to go to the world of symbiotes and the world of Venoms and everything. We talked last week how Knull was coming, and he was coming hard, and you couldn't stop him. He was coming so hard. But now that event, that big new event, which will be coming in December, it's going to be the big Christmas event this year, is called The King in Black, which I think it's going to be short. I think it's only going to be 6 issues, but also I'm sure plenty of tie-ins as well, because that's always the way.
Yeah, Donny Cates really missed the beat when he didn't call the event Null Point.
Or Null and Void.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This is why you need to hire us. We got all the best pun names. Obviously, the name King in Black is a reference to King in Yellow, which is part of the Lovecraft lore, which makes a lot of sense because Knull is literally a fucking great unknowable space evil that if you look at too long, you're driven insane.
Yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to this. I'm actually starting to pick up Venom this week because this is the start of the reveal of that new symbiote he's creating for this and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely. And I mean, it's just good shit as well. The cover is interesting too because it's a big Venom event where you've got Cyclops, Captain America, Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Immortal Hulk, and Iron Man. Where it's like, wow, but Venom gets to lead. Venom gets to be the important one.
Yeah. I can understand why all those characters are going to get involved because at one point or another they've had run-ins with the symbiotes, and they were like Captain America and Wolverine were involved in absolute carnage. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you get the bit too when Stegman and Cates were talking about it on Twitter, and they're like, oh yeah man, it's the coolest thing, it's just this over this top heavy metal thing, man, it's so metal. They called it metal like 3 times. They're like, are you guys subtly digging at the competition and their obsession with metal?
Yeah, are you trying to ride on that success and get on that train?
Clearly, all aboard the metal train, whoop whoop. Going to drive it right to the station. But yeah, this looks cool. Venom is a really good book, which I never thought I would say. If you told me that like just a couple of years ago, one of your favorite books at Marvel is going to be Venom, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
It's really cool when you get a writer who does something actually creative and interesting with a character and doesn't just rely on the look of the character.
And weirdly too, I never thought I'd say this too, I think the whole interference from the movies actually had a big part in making this interesting too, because it's like, okay, here's a Venom story, move him away from Spider-Man and everything Spider-Man related. You can't connect him to anything Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
So Venom is actually forced to become more of his own character and more of a singular being, which he is.
Develop his own kind of like little universe.
Definitely the Venomverse, if you will. But yeah, King in Black sounds good. I'm interested in it. Definitely be checking out Venom if you haven't already. In fact, hey, for people who don't know, the comic Multiverse officially has its first Amazon link now because our partnership with Book Depository had sadly come to an end. But that also means that you have another way to support the channel if you are so interested. And I'm actually going to put it in the chat right now. But if you use this link to get all caught up on Venom, if you're not already, you can totally do it. You'll be helping me out. You'll be helping yourself out. And I think the way it works is that if you even buy just anything using one of my links.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you buy anything through that portal, I think you get like a kickback from it.
Okay, so help Joel get his kickback, everybody. Help keep the lights on and help me keep being allowed to pay Matt. So there you go. Get caught up on Venom. I put that right there in the chat right now, and I'll put that in the description of this video later. I don't know if those notice, but the descriptions of all my videos now, I try and have something related to the video to be like, hey, if you like it, buy the trade or buy the box set or something.
Yeah, I applied for one of those links. I just haven't filled out all the because I got to put in all the goddamn tax details and stuff, and I'll do that once I do my taxes.
You know what? It's funny. I didn't even do that because I'm fucking behind with this coronavirus thing and everything. So I didn't even fill it out as a company, which I probably should have. I just filled it out as an individual.
I should probably do that. Yeah.
If you fill it out as an individual, they don't make you do the tax shit.
Oh, nice.
You can also decide, like, hey, do you want your money when you reach a certain amount, like how Google does it, or do you just want $10 at a time in Amazon cards?
Oh, nice.
To where I'm like, yes, please give me the cards, please. Which in that case, holy shit, Amazon cleans up 3 times. No wonder they're, such a big, rich fucking company because, they get paid when you buy the book. The writer-artist gets a little bit. Then, you get paid a little, but then you turn around and spend it back with them.
Give it back to them.
Give it right back to them. Jesus Christ. That's why we're all going to be working for fucking Amazon in the future. They run everything. Dang you, Bezos. Dang you. But also thank you for bringing that sun hat that I really needed to protect my head. Thank you. And it was extra sized, which is what I needed. I appreciate that. See, that's the problem. You can't be mad at someone when they bring you shit. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean that thing you ordered yesterday and I brought to your house today? Yeah, my bad. You mean my service that let you watch the Billy Bob Thornton Bad News Bears while you were on the toilet? Oh yeah, we're such an evil corporation that lets you do that. Okay, but also don't check how we treat our workers. Actually, don't go into any of our facilities.
Don't look at the Amazon that we're deforesting at the moment. Don't look at that. Look at this drone we're delivering your stuff with.
Fucking hey, I love drones. I love the robots. Someone actually mentioned the chat too there. It's like, hey, do you think this will be the event where they finally bring back Flash Thompson? Because that definitely feels like a trigger they've yet to pull.
Yeah, I could feel they bring that back, because I could feel this could be something that be like, oh, we need to get all the people who've been Venom together and to fight Knull or something.
I also wonder if they're like, they don't want to do that now, where it's like, no, we've got, Venom 2 coming out, the movie, and this book is selling really good. Let's not muddy the waters by bringing back Flash Thompson.
Or they could bring him back as well and make him someone else, like make him a different, newer character.
Right. Again, I mean, they got a lot of rogue symbiotes around, so he could be Agent Toxin, he could be Agent Anti-Venom again, he could be any number of things.
Yeah.
Agent Knull.
Oh.
Agent Grendel, what about that? Oh, someone needs the Grendel suit, but we can't trust it to anyone. Hey, Flash, we'll dig up your corpse and give it to you. Here you go. Now you're Grendel, why not? That is if he's not Kindred, though.
Yeah. Or you make him the opposite of like Carnage, like how Carnage is like walking around with like the corpse of Cletus Cassidy and it's like evil. You make him the inverse of that, where like the Grendel suit is walking around with the corpse of Flash Thompson, but it's a hero.
I like that. That's kind of fun. So he's basically living dead man.
Yeah.
He's just, being puppeted by a goo monster. Hey, buddy, it's me, Flash. I'm alive again. That could get really dark really quick. Moving on from there. Okay, here's a story I wasn't expecting. Remember we talked about how Marvel was moving a bunch of its books digitally?
Mm-hmm.
Jane Foster, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Hawkeye Freefall. Well, apparently they regretted that situation right away and reversed that decision pretty damn quick, because they're like, oh, we had a whole week where we didn't put out books. Oh, fuck, this coronavirus, we're behind on everything. What do you mean we had 3 stories that were done and we didn't put them out? Put them out in physical. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you can tell they didn't particularly think this through and just were trying to get on that trend of like, oh, digital books are selling really well. We'll put these ones out, and it didn't work very well for them. So they realized people were buying these physically.
Yeah, true. It's like, hey, here's books that were on the bubble. No, Tevye, they weren't canceled. I know you listen to the show every week, Tevye. I know you heard us talk about this before, that they weren't canceled. They were just moved to digital. And I mean, some were short anyway. Hawkeye Freefall was ending. And Cosmic Ghost
Forceworks ended as well.
Because those were only minis. The Jane Foster Thor one was the weirdest one, because it's like, well, this series still seems like it's got a lot of legs and still is being written and is actually still pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I wonder if they like saw the sales like, okay, these are the sales that are like physical versus digital, and physical for it was like much better, and then they moved it to digital and it just like plummeted.
Yeah, where they're like, apparently people were actually buying this in the store and we're fucking idiots, our bad. Which, I mean, could totally happen. And yeah, like the chat says, digital only works for certain books.
Absolutely.
It's not a one-size-fits-all and everything. And I mean, it helps, too, with, all those DC digital first books that are out right now. That's all they've ever been, and that's almost becoming a brand and an imprint in and of itself. You can't take a book that's like 7 issues in and be like, okay, it's digital exclusive now. Well, no, but I bought it at the store, though, for the first 7, and I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah, and those DC digital books are doing really well, because we're getting... Because we've got like that first phase where it was all just like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and now we're getting like the more weirder stuff, and they're doing really well, like Ghosts and Owl fighting forces and all that sort of stuff.
I could not believe that they brought back War Comics and they brought back Unknown Soldier.
And it was really good comic as well.
I haven't read that yet, but I feel like I should, because I won't shut the fuck up about Unknown Soldier every time. It was a cool character, the Unknown Soldier. They don't do enough with Unknown Soldier.
They must be doing really well.
I have my fingers crossed right now. I'm like, come on, Western Comics. Come on, Phase 3. Just bring back All-Star Western and call it All-Star Western.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Jimmy Palmiotti is, like, writing all this Wonder Woman stuff, so maybe just give him Jonah Hex back.
Yeah, you can't tell me he doesn't have 100 pitches for Jonah Hex in his mind that he never got to use.
Yeah.
And Jonah Hex works great, too, for one-and-done stories.
Yeah, he was really great in that Flash book.
Yeah. For reals, there's so many places you could go with it. So there's your update on digital comics. Marvel quickly threw its hat into the ring in digital comics, then was quickly, give me my fucking hat back. Not for you, digital plebs. You have to buy these in a store now. Very, very weird choice. All right, so what else did we have after that? Here's a fun piece of news, and it pertains to something that Matt and I will be doing as soon as we're done streaming right now, and that is watching Stargirl, which got renewed for a second season.
Yeah, a second season on the CW, not on the app, on the CW. So again, the app has lost yet another show to the CW.
Why do you even have the DC Universe app anymore? Literally, I have never seen a company so willfully kill its own app, because you don't need it for anything.
No, the app just completely boggles the mind. It just you have announce all these shows, you expect them to stay around, and then like before like shows even begin, you cancel them, or like say they're moving to this other network, or like Doom Patrol, which is on both HBO Max and this at the same time. So it's like, why have one when you can have the other?
Yeah, it's like clearly HBO Max is the better value than DC Universe right now that I know you're not going to be getting more of these DC Universe shows, and that HBO Max is developing new fucking DC shows. Really, how can you not feel like you got ripped off and have the wrong app? It is really amazing. I have never seen a company just so willfully sabotage itself.
Yeah, and I will say this, yes, I know people are getting it to read the comics and everything, but you can still get those same comics on like Comixology, or like none for like really cheap as well.
Yeah,
so it's like
having to pay a recurring fee.
Yeah, so like why even bother? And you're only going to read those comics like once, guaranteed.
Absolutely, for real. It's a fuck of a thing that. But hey, on the upside, more Stargirl. That's great, because this first season has been kick-ass.
Yeah, it's been really great, and I'm looking forward to the second season, because going to CW, people keep saying that like, oh, it's gonna like budget's gonna get low and all that, but people need to realize that this show is actually made by the same people and everything that make like Arrow and Flash and everything, same studios, all that sort of stuff. So I don't think much will change. I think the only thing that might change was maybe we might not get a lot more Pat, because I feel like Luke Wilson's probably a bit expensive.
Yeah, when it was like a big app show, when he was getting the Brendan Fraser deal. Yeah, I mean, it'd be sad to think like they could kill him off, or they could be like, oh, he got hurt and he can't work the robot no more.
Well, I think they might go the other way. He'll get hurt, and they'll have to put him in the robot to keep him alive, and we'll only get the robot, and it'll just be like either his voice or like a modulated voice.
Right, so that's how you write him out without writing him out. I mean, too, it's like Stargirl definitely has a lot more money put into it than those other CW shows. It's certainly a lot closer to like Doom Patrol than it is, say, even like Flash or anything. But I think you could get around it. And in fact, even after the first 2 episodes, it's like, okay, you're easing back on the effects a little bit. You're not blowing my mind every episode. And it's like you've already got the costumes, you've already got the hard part.
That's the thing. And people seem to think that like the show's just going to go down in quality. And I'm like, well, they've kind of got everything already like set up. They've got all the costumes and everything there. It's not suddenly just going to get worse in the costume and department. The effects, yeah, they'll probably scale them down, and we won't see much of like the robot or anything. But yeah,
maybe we'll spend more time in high school in season 2.
yeah. And as well, nothing's stopping them now for a crossover.
No, nothing at all. Which, in fact, that makes me even more excited, because I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, Stargirl can take part in the next crossover then, probably.
Yeah, hell yeah.
As she definitely should. I wonder where they're going to go story-wise for Season 2. I think that really depends on whether or not she finds her dad at the end of this season, because obviously, spoiler, but hey, in the comics, he's like a rent-a-thug for the Royal Flush Gang, and I actually think the Royal Flush Gang could make really interesting villains for Season 2 if they kind of updated them the same way they updated the villains here in this one.
Injustice Society. Yeah. I feel like the show's going to end with the cliffhanger that like she's gonna like find out where her dad is, or learn that her dad isn't Starman and was someone else, and puts her in that area of finding out who he is, and we'll go into Season 2 with her finding out or something.
I did I pitch it on this show or not? But my pitch for a Royal Flush Gang in the Stargirl universe is literally make them the next door family from like that Powerpuff Girls episode where the dad went nuts and became a super.
An inverse of the Duggans, yeah.
Exactly, an inverse of their family to where they're all secretly evil and villains, but they do all the Stepford smiling thing, and where it's like they don't even know they're fighting each other, but they live next door. I'm like, that's fucking good television right there.
Yeah, and again that gets like the whole family is already involved in the story because they all got like their little things, but yeah, then that carries that over into the next season where you get Mike and Barbara and all those characters involved in the story.
I keep thinking, and I don't know why this is entered my mind. I'm like, Mike is going to take the Johnny Thunder pen, isn't he?
Well, he mentioned he's got a friend named Jakeem.
Ooh.
He's got a friend named Jakeem. I could see him take the pen and like Jakeem gets it and it activates or something.
Yeah, how the hell did I have powers? I don't know, man. Also, the show is so fucking big now too, where it's like they got goddamn Shining Knight in it.
Yeah. Oh, he was awesome. He was so cool.
That means there's so many places you could go. If they have Shining Knight, that means like everything's on the fucking table.
Yeah, well, as well, now that it's part of the CW, or it is part of the CW universe because it's Earth 2, but now that it is more so since it's going to be made by the CW, it's even larger now because you could have theoretically Flash come in at any point, or any of those characters come in at any point. They could go and have an adventure and a crossover or something now.
That would be cool. I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
Be funny for Barry too. It's like, wait. So there was a Jay Garrick in this world too.
Yeah. Well, as well, they've kind of left it open whether the Jay Garrick, like, we never saw his face properly.
That's true, and also where it's like, hey, we have all of these artifacts from all these different heroes, except for the Flash though, because you can't give the Speed Force to somebody.
Yep.
But what if you could? I don't know. That'd be some shit where it's like, yeah, there's a Barry Allen in this world too, but he's not the Barry from the other show.
Yeah, and they've also left open the fact that like a Green Lantern might be out there because Pat mentioned, I think it was in the last episode, that there is only the lantern, the ring is missing. So you could always say like, oh, the ring John found at the end of Arrow was this Earth 2 ring.
All right, fair enough. Though I do like the idea that someone got a ring but no lantern to charge it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get a lantern. That's the thing. He only got the ring.
Oh, interesting. As the chat is saying too, yeah, you could also bring in Jade and Obsidian, the two kids. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That's definitely a place you could go. But yeah, Stargirl is really cool. I'd like to see, too, if they do a season 2, maybe bring in stuff from the other Starmans, because there were multiple Starmans. Because eventually you're going to run out of Courtney material, because sadly they don't have much Courtney material to work with.
Oh, yeah, I have a feeling we're going to get the other Starmen involved somehow. Well, it's going to be revealed there are other Starmans or other staffs.
Yeah, bring in Kong Gorilla, bring in all that. I know they mentioned the Shade. I keep waiting for that to be a thing where it's like, ooh, he was a villain, but then he turned on the other villains.
Yeah.
What's his deal? Oh yeah, as the chat brought up too. Yeah, we have a new Batwoman too. I forgot about that.
We do, yeah, and the internet reacted as well as it usually does.
Oh, internet, you so internet. You know what's really funny about that? So you probably got it too, but I got an email from that like fandom event from DC, and they're like, "Hey, ask your question now, because you have a fucking YouTube channel, so we're gonna ask you about Dance Monkey and help us make this look more legitimate." And they're like, you can ask anyone. Ask James Gunn about Suicide Squad. Ask about the newest season of this, that, or the other. Ask about the new Batwoman. Then said her name. And I'm like, Did that fucking come out? Was that a thing? I go online and I'm like, oh, that news dropped an hour ago. Oh, they sent these emails and that news at the same time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was like a planned, coordinated event.
I couldn't believe that because, like, for a split second, I'm like, do I have some fucking insider knowledge that no one else has? No, Joel, no, you don't. No, you might have known for a second longer if you had, picked up your email, but no. Yeah, new Batwoman, new direction. She has very few credits, which isn't a bad thing, because I mean, like fucking Grant Gustin and all these other guys didn't have a lot of credits before they became big deals. She was on that show God Friended Me, which makes me go,
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about it. I'm intrigued to see what they'll do, but again, as we've said on here, and as I've been saying this whole time, why don't you just fucking recast Kate Kane? You had just had a crisis. You had the perfect out.
You really did, where it's like, ooh, residual crisis energy smacked her in the face. Or again, Hush, they had multiple ways that, Hush just redid her face and she can't get it back.
Yeah, there was a whole storyline in number 2, where like it was about Hush doing up people's faces. He became Bruce Wayne in the end of the season. So like, just have it like, oh, Kate Kane was like captured and her face was like changed and they can't change it back because like it'll kill her or something, or like it was done such a good job or something.
I really wonder why. And again, I'd like to be a fly on the wall where it's like, why didn't you take those really easy layups?
And again, or their excuses, we're going to use the disappearance of Kate Kane in season 2. I'm like, so you're just going to repurpose all the scripts from season 1, which was about the disappearance of Bruce Wayne, and use it for Kate Kane.
Yeah, that seems like an odd choice. Then again, as I keep in the back of my mind now that they're basically making a brand new show now, essentially, called Batwoman, I'm reminded that, like, hey, Legends of Tomorrow didn't get great until a couple seasons in when they made that a brand new show, basically, so maybe it'll have the same effect. I don't know.
Maybe, but see, the thing with Legends is that it has the advantageous thing of it being a team show, whereas the team can cycle. Whereas if you focus on Batwoman, you can't really do that. Or they're going to try to do that, but I don't see it working.
Also, Legends was all loser characters, too, that no one cared about anyway. They were literally the island of misfit toys, and that was, like, part of their charm. Here it's like, no, people actually like Kate Kane, though, and, like, she actually does have, a long history and shit to draw upon, and, stories that could be adapted. Okay, I guess we're not.
Yeah, and again, like, why didn't they use, like, an already, like, cast character? Like, they could have had her sister come back and, like, take up the mantle, or her ex-girlfriend or something like that, or like just make it a mystery as like, who is Batgirl now, and then in a couple of episodes reveal who that is.
I would really like to talk to someone within that and being like, okay, what was your reasoning here? Because it could go either way. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just want to know, what was your reasoning behind this?
Especially when you had so many outs you could draw from that you had written into the show already.
Yeah, that you actively chose not to. It's weird. Again, tinfoil hat time, conspiracy theory time. Did they not like Ruby Rose? Did she leave under such bad circumstances? They're like, make it so she can never come back.
Yeah, that's really strange. Yeah, they haven't said anything about like that she could come back, but then also people are saying, they've recast it so she could come back in a guest role. I'm like, well, like, why? Like, if she's not good. Because the whole thing was like she got injured and then didn't want to have to do all this stuff that like Stephen Amell had to do.
Idea,
yeah. So again, like doing something like that as well is not good for like an actor either, because it shows like they're willing to break contract, which is never a really good thing, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's so strange. It's so strange.
Yeah, the whole situation around it doesn't make much sense, and I feel like this is one of those situations where we won't know the truth until years later.
Mm-hmm.
But, for what it's worth, there's that. But that wasn't the only piece of Batman-related news this week, Matt, was it?
No, it wasn't.
What else did we have, Matt? You take this one, because you remembered it. I forgot it.
Well, HBO Max, again, we'll talk about HBO Max, have announced that they're making a Matt Reeves Batman movie companion series in Gotham Central.
Never did I think that they would say that. Never did I think they would try something like this. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this might be the Gotham Central show I actually wanted when they made Gotham.
And it absolutely will be. It's Matt Reeves is producing, and they got the guy who made Boardwalk Empire writing,
which
and
I love that show.
Like show running it. So already it's worlds ahead of Gotham before it.
That's a really awesome like combination, and I'm like, ooh, this will be a really interesting idea for a show. And then at the same time, I'm like, ooh, it's 2020 and you're making a cop show, huh? You guys didn't read the room on any of this. This makes me worried about some of your choices. Okay.
Well, I think when they announced it, they said specifically that this show is going to be tackling corruption and stuff within the Gotham PD.
As Gotham Central did. That was a big chunk of it there. Man. Gotham Central is so good and was so good for long, and And the idea that it's like, no, this is actually canonical. This is part of the new extended Batman universe. Is like this is the sort of stuff I dream about but never got.
Yeah, and as well, this also just quells all those rumors that people were spreading that, the Batman, because of the coronavirus, the Batman is going to get cancelled and Ben Affleck is going to come back. I'm like, yeah, this kind of proves it all wrong.
Shit?
Yeah.
Man, do you think we're going to get, what is it, the Gordon from the movie? Do you think we're going to get him in here? Because obviously Gordon was a character, but not really a character in Gotham Central, because this was like when he was like retired / ousted, so he was like maybe only in 1 or 2 stories.
I could see him, because the actor Jeffrey Wright, he's kind of a staple on HBO because he was in Westworld and all that. So I could see him like maybe appearing every now and then, as it'll be like similar to Batman, where like Batman probably won't appear in the show because he never really appeared in the comic all that much.
No, he didn't.
But like every now and then you might see him or something, and it'll be like that, like, oh, Gordon's in this episode because they're tackling, like that like the issue that had like Joker as like that mad sniper.
Yes, that was an excellent issue. That was a great story.
Yeah.
Man, please, for the love of God, don't invent new cops. Make the main ride-along characters Crispus Allen and Renee Montoya, and everyone will rejoice.
Yep.
You know what's really super fucking funny is that Renee Montoya and Crispus Allen showed up in the early episodes of Gotham, then fell off the face of the earth and never came back again.
They just disappeared because that show decided it wanted to be about the villains and not about, the actual cops like the show was meant to be about.
Or whatever the fuck Gotham was about.
I have no fucking idea what... That show was trash. That show was straight trash.
It was, and yet it made so many... I have to assume that was like everyone's favorite hate watch. Like no one watched Gotham.
There was people that like it mainly because they shipped fucking Riddler and Penguin for some reason.
Right. Well, they were really close. They was real close, but so we're that much closer to this Gotham Central show that I've been dreaming about forever. The show that basically when they started making like superhero shows and taking them more seriously, I'm like, this is the show. This is it right here. Come on. You take any Dick Wolf show, but just put it in fucking Gotham instead of New York.
It's such a simple premise. I don't know how it took them this long to do it.
I really did. Well, it's because Hollywood doesn't read comics.
That's true, yeah.
And I'm sure anyone who pitched this idea would get laughed out of any pitch meeting, or it's like, so you want to make a Batman show but not have Batman in it? Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get out my office. But now all the friggin' studios and apps and everything, they're so fucking horny for content. It's like, yeah, give me that. Give me anything tangentially Batman created. Where are we on the Ace the Bat Hound show? Where's that one coming along in production?
Remember they announced the Super Pets show. Movie, I mean, for some reason.
But Shia LaBeouf is attached to the Ace the Bat Hound show. Is he going to be directing it right? No, he wants to be the dog. We're going to dress him up in a dog costume. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Oh, yeah, the Alfred show. I forgot there was a fucking Alfred show.
And it got a second season as well. Holy shit. I completely forgot about that show. Because it was on like... It's on like some random network that's not like connected to any of these. What the fuck? I fucking forgot about that.
Clearly everyone in the world forgot about it too.
Oh my god. Was that show couldn't possibly have been any good.
I can't fathom it.
Because it was like Alfred and he was a spy, so he wasn't really Alfred. It was just like it was just a spy show that just had like characters named Alfred and Thomas Wayne in it.
Which I bet you $100 that was just a British spy show that a network had picked up, shelved. And they're like, well, we can't do anything with this. This is too boring. Make it about Alfred. Cool, done.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what it was like. That's what the trailers felt like, because the trailers didn't look like... It just looked like normal spy show.
Yeah, because people will eat up anything that's even tangentially connected to superheroes, don't you know?
Yeah, especially Batman.
Especially Batman, which, goddamn, even that Titans movie made fun of the concept of let's give Alfred a movie. When goddamn Teen Titans Go is dunking on you and saying it's a bad idea. That should really tell you everything. All right, what else do we got going on here? Well, yeah, I guess that's all the news for this week. That's everything.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, we can talk about comics we read this week because there was actually a fair assortment of comics.
There was actually one of the biggest weeks so far, and next week is even bigger apparently.
Yeah, you were telling me before we started. Where would you like to begin in our conversation about this? Because we have much to choose from.
Well, I read a comic that I know you didn't read, and I know a lot of people didn't read because DC kind of got a bit fucking shady with how they released it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Generation Zero issue.
Oh, shit. You got that? I didn't get that.
And I had to pay fucking $14 for it because the only way you can read this is if you buy the Flash Forward trade.
Oh, shit.
So thank you everyone who watched that video. You actually made my money back on it, so thank you.
That's good. Good for you, man, hunting down these secret forbidden comics.
Yeah. It's such a fucking ass pull. They're just like, oh, and here's like Generation Zero, and in a way it's not required reading, but it's one of those ones just like, oh, I'm glad I read this because now I understand this more.
Right.
Remember a couple of weeks ago how we talked about how Generation Zero might be cancelled or it might be reworked into something?
Yeah.
It's getting reworked into something.
Okay, do tell.
So this issue picks up at the end of Flash Forward, which saw Wally turn into the Dr. Manhattan Mobius chair sitting one. And
Mobius Man.
He wants to fix the universe, and Tempest tells him, you can't do that because one mistake will just fucking ruin everything. But Wally is...
like Flashpoint.
Yeah, like what Barry did. Remember what Barry did multiple times? So yeah, the issue is just like Wally going back through time to all these like places where Generations was going to go, from like the beginning with the JSA and him going back through time and like fixing it. But then he realizes he can't fix it because at that exact moment is the end of Scott Snyder's Justice League run, which is when Perpetua uses the dark universe magic stuff from the Batman Who Laughs to change the universe into death metal, which is how Wally got captured by the Batman Who Laughs, because while he was traveling through time, the Batman Who Laughs was fixing the universe into the death metal universe and caught him, and is now using his powers to keep the death metal universe sort of stable in a way.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've told me that, I don't have to read it nor buy a Scott Lobdell comic. So that's lucky.
Yeah. I thought it was such an ass pull that they put it at the end of this, just to sell this book.
Did Lobdell write that too?
Yes.
Oh. Hey, our shamed writer who got in trouble for being a fucking perv and a sleaze? We're not going to put it out, but we're going to put it in his trade to make it so you have to buy it if you want the full story.
I was hoping that like someone
dirty.
would like post it online, because I think it's about 8 or 9 pages. I was hoping someone would post it and I would just like take those pages and just like review those pages. But yeah, no one did. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to have to buy this book.
So it's not even a full story.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9 pages.
Amazing. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's the dirtiest dirt I've heard in a long time.
It
Fuck
is.
all of that.
I really wish I could refund my issue, but I bought it digitally, so I can't.
Yeah. Oof. That's real bad. Matt, you're doing a service to the world at large. You're doing a service to the comic community. I, for one, salute you for your service. Well, from something that made us feel horrible to something that made us feel good. Hey, Batman 94.
Yeah, this was a really excellent issue.
Yeah, they tone down a lot of the action. They go a lot slower, and God bless him, James Tynion actually starts tying stuff together from the end of King's Run and actually trying to have it make sense, and Batman being like, wow, I was a huge asshole who pushed my entire family away for a year and did a lot of dumb, stupid things, and the Joker caught on to that and figured, ooh, now will be a good time to strike.
Yeah, I do enjoy that the whole issue was sort of a response to King's Run, where it's like, Batman was a fucking idiot during that run, like a complete idiot.
Mm-hmm. And now he's paying the price for it. In fact, Joker's plan, even, you said this before, that his plan is basically just a better version of City of Pain.
It is. Is it not? Is it not?
It literally, and it gets even more so when you read Detective Comics that also came out this week.
Yeah, again, because he's been planning it longer than Bane has.
Yeah, wow, I cannot believe that. I like smart Joker. I like where it's like, no, I'm crazy like a fox is what it is. You always underestimate me, and you think I'm just gonna show up or like poison the reservoir or something. But no, I've actually been playing chess this whole time.
Yeah, I think it was in the Secret Files one where like Joker says like everyone expects me not to know that Batman is Bruce Wayne because, you know, I'm crazy, I only care about chaos, but I've known this whole time, and I'm just playing this long con game with him as I set up this other larger game around him that he's not even noticing because he's a fucking idiot.
It's a Russian nesting doll of schemes is what it is, which is very Joker and also very comic book villain, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Our good friend Sal has a saying for situations like this that is all too perfect, where it's like, yes, I have a circuitous scheme to get this. And I'm like, this is the most schemy-ass scheme there's ever been. Schemes within schemes. Also, too, shit, for the first time ever, I actually kind of give a shit about Catwoman for the first time in a while.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, she feels bad, where it's like, wow, I was trying to help you, but Joker used me as a pawn too, and now she's literally been taken off the board by Penguin.
I actually, really enjoy that because, like, if this was King's Run, this would all be about her, and she would be the one that would like save Batman in the last moment, be able to like kill all the villains and stop them all in the last minute. But yeah, I like that she's immediately been taken off the board. Same with Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty interesting. Also, too, I like the concept of the cool room where the Penguin's like, yeah, you ever wonder why all us other villains don't show up in big Joker-centric stories? Because we don't want to die.
Yeah. We have a room here that we like go and like isolate ourselves in when Joker decides he wants to blow up the city because, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I love that concept that other villains are so afraid of the Joker and Joker events, they just hide out.
And not only that, they hide out and then bet on like what Joker's gonna do and like bet with each other and everything. I thought that was pretty good. Are we getting a tie-in for that? Because that'd be a tie-in I would read. So.
Same. I hope we get that too. Shit, they really sell the severity of it where even Deathstroke is like, hey, take one last good look at Gotham, everyone, because it might not be here tomorrow.
Yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, wow. When hardened assassins are like, we need to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And also, too, another nice bit of payoff where Joker's like, yeah, I stole your fortune, I stole your house, I manipulated the media into thinking that you're an embezzler and a criminal, and oh, hey, you know all those cool new Bat gadgets you've been showing out since, like, the first issue of this? Yeah, they're mine now, and I'm going to weaponize them and turn them against you.
I thought that was pretty cool. The part about embezzlement is actually really cool because Batman technically did embezzle money. Like yes, he was using it to like combat crime and everything, but it's still a crime. I like that that Joker's using that against him.
Yeah, Joker's not wrong about any of that, where it's like, no, you're a tax cheat and you're all this other stuff. Hell, I like Lucius in this too, being like, look, man, I gotta go back and defend the company. I gotta do the job you hired me for. I can't keep playing Alfred.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole reason that Joker probably was able to steal your company was because I'm here and not doing my job.
Exactly, yeah.
So a lot of stuff to think about on that. And again, too, you know, the specter of Alfred still hanging over all of this to where we get that big, cool finale where Batman's like the lowest he's been in a long time. You know, he's got nobody. He's got literally just the cape on his back. And, you know, he redoubles the oath he made in the office in year one, only instead of saying, yes, father, I will become a bat, it's, yes, Alfred, I will become a better Batman.
I actually like that because, like, yeah, the bat through the window this time is a lightning strike in the shape of a bat, which I thought was pretty cool.
That was very, very cool. I'm like, oh, look at you, James Tynion. You saved the best for this. You saved the best for later. How very poetic of you. I like that redoubling of it and that revisiting of year one. To be like, no, it's not just that I'm Batman. I need to be a better Batman.
Yeah.
So yeah, Batman 94 really solid. I'm excited for Joker War now.
Yeah, and even more so, like we talked about Detective Comics, and that came out this week as well. Yes, and again, that like made me even more hyped for it because again, it goes into like Joker's like plan a little bit more, and it's revealed that like he's behind like how Harvey's been acting and everything. Yes. And I thought that was pretty cool as well.
all to try and distract Batman.
Yeah.
In fact, that's all he's doing is he just keeps trying to make bigger and bigger distractions. He even wakes up Lincoln March, the guy at the center of the original Court of Owls. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I thought that was going to be the other Talon. I thought that was going to be Dick Grayson, the guy who's related to him.
Yeah,
but no, it was Lincoln March, who we haven't seen since the end of Robin War.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Patterson, for the subscription there.
Hey.
As well, yeah, we also got the Batmech as well back.
Yeah,
which
wow,
really
was
cool.
not expecting that. That was a very fun callback.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, well, why shouldn't Batman just be able to beat Two-Face up at a fist fight? Oh, because he has a giant robot, that's why.
Yeah. I just love how, as you said, love smart Joker. Love a Joker who's thinking his plans through and not just doing it just cause.
Again, to talk about detectives there, I will say I had one minor complaint, and again, the story's not over yet, so I could be proven 100% wrong by the next issue. I'm a little disappointed that a story that started out being all about Two-Face and putting him back in the limelight and making him a big, important villain again is like, nah, he's actually third banana to Lincoln and Joker, and he was actually being manipulated the whole time.
I actually kind of like it, because now that we know he's been manipulated, like he wasn't responsible for any of this, so it could lead to like a really cool story of, because now Harvey's back in control because he doesn't have the microchip in his brain, could lead to a cool story with like kind of like a Deadshot sort of thing, what is happening in Suicide Squad, where he gets control back and wants to help Batman do good now.
It would be really interesting if like Joker War happens and Harvey's like, nah, I'm keeping the suit.
Yeah, he that's his new thing.
I'm good guy Two-Face now, and I'm keeping the suit.
Oh, if they bring back that Batmech armor, I'll be so happy. I love that suit.
Because that was the rumor that was supposed to happen during Battle for the Cowl, that Two-Face was actually supposed to get it, and they toyed around with that idea for a little bit, making Two-Face Batman.
Yeah, they did.
Like, I would read good guy Two-Face.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I did so much wrong before, but now I get to flip my own coin, make my own choice. In fact, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the way the story ended, where, like, now Two-Face has to help Batman fight Lincoln March and the Talons.
Oh, yeah, I have a feeling that's where the next issue's going to go, because, yeah, Harvey's back, he's going to team up with Batman, and they're going to fight the Owls.
Yeah, the chat asks, is Dick still Rick? Probably, as far as I know.
I know there was... I was going to read those Nightwing issues, because they were lead into Joker War, and Joker did get involved, but I can't be fucked. I cannot be fucked.
I flipped through the first one, and I think, like, Joker killed all of his supporting characters. Which I'm like, that's one way to do it. That's one way to sever ties with this stupidity. Have the Joker just kill everybody.
Yeah, go full fucking napalm on it.
There you go. Where it's like, no one's gonna write this shit again. No one cares about Dick's time as Rick and the Night Wings or whatever the hell that story was about.
Yeah.
I didn't read it, and I didn't care to read it. Because, again, Scott Lobdell before they gave it to someone else.
Yep.
And it's not going to matter, too, because as we've seen in the artwork for Joker War, Nightwing is back in blue.
Yeah, that's going to be happening. I mean, Joker War starts next issue, so it's got to happen. And it's only a short run, isn't it? It's only a short event. So, yeah, it's got to happen, like, within the first 2 issues.
Yeah, because it's done at issue 100, and then I'm assuming once that's done, they're getting a new creative team on Batman.
I don't know, because the solicitations for that came out, and James Tynion's still writing it, and Grifter is getting to be part of Batman's team now. Yeah, Grifter.
Oh, shit, I missed
of
that.
Of all
Really?
people, yeah.
Okay, James, now you're just showing off, and now Grifter's here.
Yeah, I'm going to make Grifter interesting and relevant.
Yeah, more power to you. No, Grifter needs to meet that American flag guy, Gunsmith, and be like, hey, motherfucker, you ripped me off.
I was just thinking that, like, oh, maybe he's James Tynion seems to have a thing about people with, like bandanas on their face.
Also, thank you, Pat Sr., for that. Always much appreciated.
Thank you.
Pat always supporting the D&D streams, too, over on my own channel every other Thursday.
Nice.
So that's always fun. But, yeah, that was Batman 94, and that was Detective Comics. And, yeah, Smart Joker and Joker War, them actually building up to a pretty interesting story over the 2 Bat books.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What else did you want to talk about, Matt?
We had Deceased begin its new series this week with Deceased Dead Planet.
Yes, we did. We pick up 5 years later after the end of the original Deceased.
Yeah, and boy, does it deliver on the misery.
Yes, it does. It does, and yet there's also just a little glimmer of hope
A little.
at the end of it all. Just enough
Yeah,
to keep you going.
Tom Taylor does a good job of like doing these Dow stories, but finding that little bit of hope in it.
Like Crypto, how sweet was it to see Crypto come back?
And his tail wagging at super speed. That was pretty cool.
That was nice. I really like that. We get to see Cassie and John and Damian have now completely, filled the roles of Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, respectively. I like Damian's new Batman costume a lot because he's got like the little frills on his cape, and also he's still wearing the same combat boots he wore as Robin.
Yeah, just painted.
Just painted. I'm like, that's fun. I love the idea of Damian being like, yes, I will honor your legacy, father. I will wear your costume. Well, I'm still gonna wear my own shoes though.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
Yeah, they're comfy and good.
They're worn in.
Yeah, really. I'm not gonna get new shoes.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I like this idea of again Tom Taylor rebooting more or less his Earth 2 book a little bit there.
Yeah. In secret, good job.
With Earth 2 there, which I really want to know more about, like how the hell did Lois Lane, a reporter, become the president of this Earth 2? Like, how does that work?
Oh, that's going to be a Hope at World's End story, you know it.
How did what qualifies her to be? Surely there'll be like they say what, like 15 million people or something. Surely amongst those people would be like some actual people.
One politician.
Yeah, one politician. Or do they leave them all behind?
Well, you see the politicians were already bloodthirsty zombies already, so they got left behind.
Yeah, we couldn't discern them from the people with the anti-life virus.
I can't tell the difference between this career Republican and this zombie. I can't just. Oh, better shoot them both. Man, for me, I made this joke in my video too, where it's like, hey, an American woman finally got to be president, and all it took was the complete destruction of Earth. And then I said, don't worry, everyone. Judging by the news, we're going to be on that path real soon, I'm sure.
End of the year. End of the year.
To complete destruction. Oh, if you don't laugh about the dire state of the world, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I like you. They're trying to make it in space, and obviously aliens are hassling them and everything, so they have to fight against that.
Yeah, they got their new Justice League, which is a pretty cool roster of Justice League members there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Constantine is drinking himself to death in the Oblivion Bar, haunted by literal or maybe figurative ghosts. I'm not sure. They might actually be there because he's magic. They might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, and he walks around with a box full of Chaz's ashes.
Oh, that's sad, but also funny. Also, hey, Green Arrow got a new costume, too. He looks like his TV show version now.
Yeah, it's too bad it didn't last very long.
No, it didn't, man. Oh, Taylor, why do you play with my heart like that? Hey, Joel, I'm writing your favorite hero in the way that you actually like. Isn't this great and good? And I'm dedicating all this time.
I could tell something bad was coming because we got like quite a bit with him and Dinah like talking about like, hey, we're going to go on this mission. Oh, maybe we shouldn't go on this. And like, oh, something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen.
I've read a zombie story before. I know where this goes. Their back and forth was pretty funny, though. It's like, well, I have to come to protect you. And she's like, I'm Green Lantern. I would be protecting you.
I do like they make fun of, like, just how OP she is now. Because she's got the Green Lantern ring. She's got, like, her sonic power. And she has Wonder Woman's God Killer sword. So she's, like, kind of too OP. And Oliver makes fun of that.
And also, she was like an expert martial artist before that. Yeah. She was like trained by Wildcat and shit. It's like, I'll let you hold the God Killer sword, and that Ollie 5 years later is still going on about, I killed zombified Aquaman and Cthulhu. I did it. You all saw I did it. Yeah, and you haven't shut up about it in 5 years. Because you know he wouldn't. He'd bring that up every day.
Yeah, that'd be on like his resume or just like name tag.
Green Arrow, I killed zombie Aquaman. Also, too, I wasn't expecting Cyborg to come back and be as important as he was, but I guess he should be important because he was literally patient zero.
Yeah, I like it, and as well as it's obviously taken him 5 years to figure out that there is a cure, and I like that Superman was the only one who could hear him say that there was a cure. No one else could because he was like talking very low. And but of course in doing that, that means Superman might be dead, maybe.
Maybe he got it in the shoulder. I like too that, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but that zombie Wonder Woman is still the greatest threat.
Oh
on Earth
yeah,
right
I
now.
fucking love that. Like it's like just when you think it couldn't get worse, the fucking zombified Wonder Woman. She didn't get killed by fucking Mary Marvel. Like everyone seems to think so.
No. Yeah, she made it. I know there's one guy in my comment section who's really pissed off saying, Tom Taylor has never been good to Wonder Woman in any of his stories. He's always written her poorly or to get beaten up or anything. Like, she's the most powerful undead in a zombie story.
She's
What do you
fucking
want?
like running through all these fucking heroes like it's nothing. What the fuck?
Yeah. She killed Vandal Savage and all those villains. She killed everybody and everything. She can't be stopped. Literally, that's the benchmark, saying that she's the most most powerful undead of them all.
Her story in Injustice was one of the best parts of that.
Yeah. Can't please everyone, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not.
Can't please everyone. But yeah, Deceased is cool. I'm interested to see where it goes from here, especially because it's becoming a bigger universe now between this and the digital books that are still coming out.
Yeah, we got a couple more issues. I think like 3 more issues, maybe.
Right, yeah, I didn't know what the ultimate end time was for that.
Yeah, well, I know it's definitely not going to cover that whole 5 years because I think it was only solicited for like 7 issues.
Right, but they could keep going. You never know.
Yeah, they could do like what they did with goddamn Injustice, where they had like
Yeah.
literally every year filled in.
More and more of the blanks, and I
Yeah.
mean that would probably make money. You couldn't keep calling it Hope at World's End. You'd have to call it something else, like Deceased on the Run, Deceased
Yeah.
We in Space Now.
Yeah, well, they did that with Injustice as well. Where each year was called something different.
Literally call one Deceased Earth 2. Just so it all comes full circle and we got it back.
Well, we still have to like find out about like the Flash and all that because they went to another Earth. Remember?
Yes, they all think he's dead, but he went off to another Earth.
Maybe he went to the actual Earth too, and we'll get all those characters back.
Oh man, if that's the case, then I will literally just clap for Tom Taylor for making
This
it
is
all
him
happen.
bringing all those characters back.
No, he actually went to the Injustice universe.
Yeah, oh no.
No, he went to the bad place. That way we can have a couple years from now Deceased versus Injustice. Again, you laugh at that, but then it's like, well, didn't they also have Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness? Yeah.
Yeah, and they also had like Injustice versus He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which was really fucking awesome, by the way.
So it wouldn't have even been the first time there was a big crossover with the Injustice universe.
No.
Yeah. All right, what else do we have? On the Marvel front of things, we had Empire Fantastic Four this week.
Yeah, and this is a fun issue. However, this did feel like just a Fantastic Four issue, like just a normal issue that had been retitled.
Just, yeah, it definitely felt that way, yet at the same time, I was shocked how much I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really, really well done story, and so simple too. The Richards family run out of space gas and end up having to fight in an alien casino to get gas money.
Yeah, and all through the story, readers like piecing together all this information. It's like, what the fuck's going on with the universe? The credits aren't worth anything anymore. That'll lead to like an economic crash. Well, what caused that crash? And why are these people acting like the Kree-Skrull War is over? What's happening?
Didn't we stop that one time? It's like, well, yeah, one time out of many times, Reed. You guys have been gone a while. My favorite part about that story is that it starts with like, space credits aren't worth anything anymore. And Reed could just have asked the guy who picked them up, oh, well, why is that? But he doesn't, because it's more important to him to riddle it out and prove how smart he is.
Yeah, bit of arrogance there.
Yeah, like, that is so fucking Mr. Fantastic, where it's like, you could have just asked a follow-up question. No, I'm going to discern this because I can. And, we also get a nice callback, to the time the Richards stopped the Kree-Skrull War, because that's literally how they defeat the Kree and Skrull combatant in this tournament.
Yes, we saw Inhumans in the background of a scene, which was really good. People remembered they existed.
We also saw Mojo Jojo there, too.
Yes, we did.
Which I thought was awesome. I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. Also, kids space gambling.
Yeah, aided by an invisible woman, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's goddamn genius. I'm like, how the hell do you guys not take Vegas for everything it's worth all the time?
We see these people are good people,
Yeah, really. That's
I did like Val, like parents tell her to, like, her and Franklin, just watch the ship, and the first thing she does is trade it in for space bucks.
for space bucks, Chuck E. Cheese tokens to go gambling with. And again, Franklin too being like, no, we're not Terrans, we're not young, we're from a society that ages really slowly, like the Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
that checks out. Please come in.
Made a Baby Yoda joke. Yeah,
they made a Baby Yoda joke, which again, as people were quick to say, hey, this is the first appearance of Baby Yoda in the Marvel universe. It happened. It definitely did. But yeah, fun, cool issue that really just ends with them getting snapped up by the new Kree Skrull Empire.
Yeah, kind of ending where like the end of that Avengers run ended.
Yeah, which assumedly issue 1 is going to pick up with like, okay, well, how did they get talked into fighting alongside the Kree Skrull Empire?
Yeah, that comes out this week. They're not that and the Fantastic Four first tie-in for it as well.
Oh wow, they are not fucking around then.
No.
Have they said what order you have to read those in?
I imagine it's going to be Empire 1 and then Fantastic Four. I'll have to have a look when I get the issues, yeah.
Because, like, I liked this Fantastic Four so much, I might actually check it out.
I'm going to check out their book as well, yeah. I was reading it and I kind of came off for an arc. Because the last arc I read, I think, was Ben Grimm fought the Hulk. And he still had his cast on this issue, so I'm not too far behind.
His adamantium cast, yeah. Also, too, because they pulled back on so many of the tie-ins, as we mentioned last week, we might actually get a chance to read them all.
Yeah, I the only thing, though, I really wish they would update their checklist in the books, because they haven't updated them for the last two. I imagine that might have been in, like, a print thing, but, like, even for digital, you'd think they'd have updated the digital versions, at least.
You sure would. I know Jim Zub mentioned on Twitter, it's like, yeah, Agents of Wakanda is canceled, and no, we're not getting the Empire tie-in, I wrote.
Yeah.
That's fucking disappointing.
Yeah.
That's a double slap. That's not only do you not get to finish this, but also this thing you wrote we're not even going to put out.
Just as long as they don't do a DC and when like an omnibus or something for this is announced, they're like, we're putting all these issues back in it and charging you extra for it.
Oh, they just might. Although, honestly, because they cut so many, I think you could actually justify that with being like, and here's all the content you didn't see.
Yeah, like an extra volume or something. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Empire the Lost Wars or Empire the Lost Front.
Yeah.
That'd be something. But yeah, Empire, surprisingly solid. I dug it.
Mm-hmm.
We also got our taste of X-Men this week, too. We got X-Force number 10.
Yes, the most horniest of issues.
No doubt about it, man. Those X-Writers, I have to imagine during their teleconference there, they're like, okay, what new fetishes are we going to invent this year in X-Men, everybody? Everyone, okay, I'm just going to write down a sex position on here, throw it out there, and you come up with 2 mutants for it, and we'll go from there. That's just how they write everything now.
That's what Sword of X is about. That's how they came up with that.
We're just going to be crossing all the swords in X of Swords. Just 24 issues of that. Apocalypse, how have I been defeated? You have humbled the great Apocalypse. Apocalypse invented crossing swords back in the Mesopotamian era. We knew. Somehow we knew. The chat just keeps saying plant vor now. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's coming.
That's coming.
I mean, it kind of already is, because Black Tom is like dating or fucking Krakoa.
Yeah,
something.
And he's eating the dirt.
Yeah.
And he's like, just a little to keep me going. That's filthy. Yep.
He's a fucking weirdo. He's such a fucking weirdo.
He was always a weird character, and I like that they're leaning even further into it to now that it's like, no, he is the weirdest guy around.
Yeah.
That's all he is. Oh, man. It's funny, too, to kind of pick up with this story, because it's been so long since the last issue.
I had to remind myself, like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, Beast is being, like, a shady motherfucker.
Yeah, I had to go back and watch my old video on issue 9 to even remember what happened, which is always nice in this line of work. But yeah, Beast is acting like Amanda Waller, running secret backroom missions when he shouldn't, and Jean catches him with his blue hand in the cookie jar, and she literally has it out with him, and she gives him a real fucking verbal talking to that I quite enjoyed.
I very much enjoyed that. I was actually surprised we got it this soon, because I thought we were going to get that for a little bit longer than we did, because we only kind of really learnt like last issue that he was kind of like a shady motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, as Jean so eloquently puts it, are you so arrogant that you thought you could keep secrets from a psychic?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, yes, I did. And like how he just has a fucking excuse for everything. It's like, okay, sure, I killed one person, but he was a bad guy, and I was protecting the nation. Like, okay, my math was wrong, and this whole nation may, die due to plant genocide and everything, but we can learn so much about Krakoa from this and making sure it doesn't happen here. And Jean's just like, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up, Hank.
Yeah, I also like when she went to go and stop this, because she's the one who kind of saved X-Force from these weird plant cult, ancient Aztec things. I like that she says now she's done that, Beast is probably going to try and annex the country.
Interesting. I wonder, because she basically quits at the end of it. She tells Logan in their steamy little hot tub scene, she's like, I can't put up with it anymore. I'm not an anti-hero like the rest of you. It's too dirty, it's too morally complex. And I wonder, with her gone, does that mean that Beast is going to have free reign to be more of a shady asshole, or does that mean that he's actually going to stop now?
Yeah, it's very interesting place to take the character. They also do mention, Jean says like, oh, Sage will have to kind of step up, and Logan's like, she's a bit of a pussy. I don't think she's cut out for it.
For this line of work, they compare her to a calculator, and then they also say, hey, what about Colossus? We got to try and bring him closer. And they also imply that Wolverine is seeing Colossus's dick, which naturally.
Yeah, of course.
At the big mutant orgies, he's got a big heart. Hey, he's got a big everything. This is a fun time in comics. I wonder too, because it's funny, Colossus was on the cover of X-Force #1, and he's been hanging around the periphery of Domino's story, but has not officially joined the team.
Yeah, he's kind of only been on like one mission with them, really. But yeah, I could see him definitely joining up, because they did that whole arc where like him and Domino were kind of like kindred spirits in a way.
Yeah, very much so. Domino's story is really fascinating too. That she was tortured by Zeno, then died and had the memories removed from her, even though she didn't seem to want that at first. And Wolverine's like, really, you willingly doctored your own memory? You know my whole character is that my memory is Swiss cheese, and there's stuff I want to remember but I can't. That's kind of weird that you would willingly do that.
Yeah, and she just tells him to shut the fuck up. My mind is my own.
Yeah, which she didn't feel like that before, and I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting. And like Quentin Quire even brings this up, where it's like, hey, if you die, what's to stop us from rolling back like an older version of your memory where those traumatic things are still there? Yeah.
I think we even talked about this when we talked about issue 9, or when her story ended on that, where it's like, yeah, did she want this to happen, or did someone like put that in her memory that she wanted this to happen? And this is like, again, could relate back to Beast like doctoring his team's memories so they forget certain things.
Ooh, that's fun. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mutant CIA must have full deniability at all times.
Yeah, again, it makes sense that Beast would do something like that, especially after the last mission, which was him. He knew the team was going to die, so like, yeah, he would just definitely remove their memories of that.
And he got caught being in trouble and everything. It's like, well, what if I bring you back and you don't remember the bad thing I did?
Yeah.
Then I'm okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, X-Force continues to be cool if you like an action series, if you like what is basically Mutant Suicide Squad, but that other book, Hellions, is even more Mutant Suicide Squad than this. When's that book come back? I want to read Hellions #2. Issue 1 was really strong.
I think pretty soon.
I was all about that book. We both were.
Yeah, I know. This coming week we got we have a Wolverine tie-in for Iron Man 2020.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Because you put Wolverine on it and it sells, but also like, yeah.
Yeah, when's that event? That event should have finished by now. It should just been over.
Yeah, you'd think so. I still haven't read issue 4 yet. I'm going to.
It's good, but it's like okay, I know like obviously pandemic and everything is like sort of put everything in limbo, but like this has gone on for too long. Just like give us all the issues at once.
And also, we already know you have the new guy picked out and a new #1 ready to go.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it. So that was all the books I read. Did you read anything else you want to talk about?
I did, yeah. I read Superman issue 23 this week, and it was probably my favorite issue I read this week, or one of my favorite issues this week. Yeah, and I said on Twitter when I reviewed this is a story that's going to go over everyone's head, and boy did it. I
heard a lot of people getting very angry. I've obviously checked out on all Bendis related Superman, but all I heard was anger and vitriol. But please, Matt, give me your alternate take, as I am always interested to hear.
So this is the Dr. Fate storyline. Superman wants to figure out, like, on behest of like his friends and his wife, he goes to see Dr. Fate for a checkup just to make sure he's okay. And like, why was his response to everything that has happened in his life, from him agreeing for his son to go off with his father to all this sort of stuff, why was his response to all of that him revealing his identity? He wants to make sure he's in the right mind. There's not some control over his mind or something. And
have I been taking crazy pills? Has some bald man been puppeteering my life? And I don't mean Luther.
Yeah. He wants to try and determine that. And he goes to see Dr. Fate, who is played by Khalid here. We get to see the Justice League Dark and everything. And this is technically the first time they have actually met. Khalid and Superman. It's actually really cool because Khalid says, like, we have met before, but every other time has been during like a crisis or some big event. So I just wanted to meet you like fun. At the Tower of Fate, where everything's kind of quiet. But yeah, him and Superman, he kind of acts like Superman's therapist, because Superman sort of is coaxed into talking about all of this stuff that has gone on in his life with Leviathan and his son being aged up, and it's really cool to have Superman have a human moment where he actually gets angry that his father took his son away from him and he came back aged up. Like, he missed all those years, and he is really angry about that, and angry at himself because it was him who said, yeah, you can go away. Your son wanted to go away. You let him go away. It's really great at that. And we get a really... What was that?
I was going to say, sounds like Bendis is doing a lot of lampshade hanging.
Khalid as well, like, is kind of acting like all these people that are getting angry, where he's trying to piece it together, and he doesn't understand because Superman hasn't talked to anyone, because Superman thinks no one will understand because he's Superman. Everyone thinks he can't have problems. He's Superman. He's the best hero in the world. He can't have human problems because he's Superman.
Very, very meta.
Yeah, and the B plot of this is there's some DEO agent who got saved by like a magic box that ends up turning out to be the being Xanadoth, like related.
Xanadu won't cry for you.
Who coincidentally is coming after Dr. Fate because they were the original owner of the Dr. Fate helmet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a really cool issue, and it went over everyone's head.
Well, I'm glad to hear your take on that, Matt. I'm glad to hear you actually were able to enjoy it, because I know how bad it was when you couldn't enjoy Superman. So was that it? Was that everything then?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah, it was a big week, but not a huge week. So, I guess we'll start winding down the show then. Thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us. We had like 30 people here on Twitch on Sunday night. I really appreciate that, because I know you have a lot of choices on a night like this to watch, and I'm glad you all sat and watch us. That's makes me really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, so, be sure to, as always, like, comment, subscribe, do all that social media stuff. You can find Matt and myself on Twitter and Facebook. This show, if you want to watch it live, it's Sunday, usually around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always try and do it. Usually goes up on Wednesday at 8 a.m. on the YouTube channel, and up on SoundCloud when I remember. I actually didn't upload episode 196 yet. I got to do that. It's hard on the weeks I play D&D, because like that's so much to put together, just like of another show's worth of audio, and I'm like, oh good, I'm done. That's like, no, you're not. You still got shit to do. So again, thank you so much, everyone. if you're a patron, you get to listen to this first before anyone else. Matt tries to get that all sorted, and I try and get that up to you as soon as we can. You become a patron for as little as $1 a month if you want the video version. Costs you a little bit more, but I promise it's definitely worth it. I try and upload to the Patreon as much as I can. Also, as I said before, check out the Amazon link. Anything you buy from there really helps out me and Matt keep the lights on, and be sure to clear your schedule on Friday if you can, because I'm going to try and be streaming all day for my birthday. So come out and say hi to me there over on my Twitch channel.
Yeah, I'm looking to stream some Ghost of Tsushima as well. I think I get it like at least a couple of hours before you guys get it. So
You do.
So I'm hoping to get it out early in the morning and just kind of hopefully maybe stream all day.
I'm glad I didn't buy it for myself yet, because I literally had my father saying, like, hey, is there a new game coming out you want? I know it's your birthday. I'm like, oh, yeah, this new samurai thing. I was going to buy it and stream it. I like, literally had my hand, like, over the card thing. It's like, no, don't do it. I need to buy this. Like, don't do this. It's like, you can use them PlayStation cards for it, right? I'm like, yeah, probably. Okay, then. Okay.
I bought a physical copy because I got the special edition of it, the steelbook and
nice.
all the really cool shit that comes with it.
Nice. I've been buying so many games online digitally now. I started it before the virus thing, and I'm doing it even more now because it's like, oh, cool. I don't have to go to the store for this.
Yeah.
Can start it, uploading and doing its thing before I go to bed by the time I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right then, everyone. We'll start bringing the show to a close. Again, thank you so much for watching and listening, and Matt and I will be back again next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.